What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint. It's Wednesday morning, February 19th, new comic book day. We have a lot going on today. We're going to do non-spoiler reviews on this week's new issues, so stay tuned.
They can't stand it. Comic flow, they can't stand it. I'm incredible, unforgettable. Something like Mint Collectibles, ayy. I'm a Gemini and we get it right. We amazing, no spider bites, so we doing reviews and getting the views. Venom my ooze, book of the week, cause see me Wednesday.
Alright guys, this video is sponsored by ThatSpidermanBooth.com. They have $30 mystery boxes where you are guaranteed to get 5 comics of retail value. One person will get the giveaway prize of this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1, CGC 9.8. This is the 3rd printing, but still the first appearance of the Turtles, of Shredder, and Splinter. So go to ThatSpidermanBooth.com and use the code GEMMINT for $10 off. Alright guys, like I said, we have a lot going on today. I have a bunch of titles that I didn't receive last week that I got this week, so I do want to quickly go through those. We'll start right here with Hawkeye Freefall number 3. I'm really digging Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye is the perfect blend of humor, action, and suspense. I don't know. It's really cool. You got this Ronin story, which looks like it's Hawkeye. Is it Hawkeye? Isn't it Hawkeye? But you gotta read to find out. The Ronin character is basically pulling a Robin Hood. He's taking down drug dealers. He's taking down bad guys, keeping the money, kind of putting it back into the community. And I really like the way Hawkeye is written. I think it's great. His relationship with his girlfriend. He's got this new type of kid hacker that he's working with. It's just a fun story all around. All right, we got Dan Slott's Iron Man 2020 issue 2. I'm not really sure how I feel about this. I mean, I definitely feel like the story's coming together more than issue 1, but I just don't think I dig the Arno Stark as the Iron Man of 2020. His kind of weird clunky armor with the big gears. The whole premise of this robot rebellion, I'm just not really digging it that much. And then the leader of the robot rebellion, I don't know. It's just another one of those villains mirroring the hero type of thing. It's just not my style, man. I'm not really digging this book. Yo, bro, Thor 3, Donny Cates. This would have been my pick of the week last week for sure. Man, Donny Cates is just bringing so much fun back to comics. Like, his stuff is just fun, and it's just so much fan service. I mean, Thor vs. Beta Ray Bill with Galactus in the background like Shao Kahn or something like that. This was just an amazing issue, action-packed. I love Thor. I mean, Thor is the All-Father now. He's the Odin of Asgard, and he's also the Herald of Galactus, and he's just he's the shit, man, straight up. And this book is the shit. All right, then we got Nebula 1. So this was something that the cover intrigued me. I wanted to read it. I missed it last week. My shop got shorted a box from Diamond, and I've seen all these people review this book, and they hate this book. They really hate the fact how Nebula looks. Like, I guess they're saying she looks like a man. To me, she looks like Nebula from the movies. I thought this was a cool issue. It was a cool premise. Nebula is trying to basically track down this new technology that kind of acts as like a probability enhancement, kind of like a could tell the future kind of thing. But since she's cyborg, it goes into her CPU, and she could like pinpoint like her success rate on in fighting, or looking at weaknesses in somebody's armor, or probability of escape. So I thought it was a pretty cool premise. I mean, personally, the way Nebula looks didn't bother me. I mean, she was never a sex symbol to me to begin with, and I thought it was a dope issue. It's way better than the Yondu miniseries was, so I was kind of digging Nebula 1. All right, so we got Mark Waid on Doctor Strange, Surgeon Supreme. This was issue 3. It was a pretty forgettable issue for me. I'm trying to remember what even happened here. I can't even remember. It was pretty forgettable, like I said. I mean, I know he's trying to track down who empowered these kind of D-list criminals with magically enhanced weapons, like the Wrecking Crew or the Wrecker. But I kind of forget what else happens, man. Not much. Okay, so that catches me up with the stuff that I missed from last week. Funny enough, I think I got shorted Batman 89 this week, and I'm not even mad, to be honest with you. So where should we start? I guess let's start with some issues that we were able to get early and do some early reads. So we had Jeff Lemire's Family Tree issue 4. I love everything Jeff Lemire does, and this is no exception. The grandpa character, like I called it from issue 1, is a total badass. It seems like, he's lost a lot, but he's willing to keep pushing forward to help his family, right? To help, I believe it's his son-in-law that he's talking to, and I'm not going to spoil it. There's this cult of people that want to hunt down and kill anybody that's turning into a tree, and they're basically coming after little Meggie, and Grandpa's here to protect her. So that's pretty much the deal with this issue, but I'm really digging it. Family Tree is awesome. Then we got Spawn 305, Hell Hunt Part 4. You have Todd McFarlane on the script, and you got Jason Sean Alexander doing the artwork with Todd. This was an action-packed issue, man. This was basically a battle royale with Spawn, She-Spawn. Redeemer is now... Is it Reamer? Now the Redeemer is the Redeemer, but also part of Spawn. So he's like both worlds, heaven and hell. Versus Medieval Spawn, who has been teased ever since, I think, issue 300. So it was basically an entire comic of like this battle royale, and it was tight. So you can't really go wrong with that. Artwork was good. And we moved the story on a little bit here as well. You gotta love Spawn. Scott Snyder's Undiscovered Country 4. Man, this book kind of lost me, man. Like, I'm not really understanding what's going on here. I mean, I get the whole, we're 30 years in the future, America's borders have been closed off, and these people are trying to infiltrate it because there's like this plague going on everywhere else besides America. But I just don't really understand what's going on with like this whole destiny, man, and these people that they're now captured, but there's all these weird alliances. But I don't know, it kind of lost me. I wasn't really digging Undiscovered Country. Man, we got an early book from Valiant today. So Exo Manowar is getting a new ongoing series, and Exo is my favorite Valiant hero. I love Exo. He's like Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man all mixed into one. I mean, he's a man out of time like Cap, and he's, you know, strong, and he's a warrior, but he's a warrior from like the 4th century, so he's kind of like got that old school vibe like Thor, and then he's got like Iron Man-esque armor. So this was an awesome issue. It doesn't come out till like May 20th, it looks like, but we got a really early look at it. It's a new ongoing, and it doesn't blow you away with issue 1. You can tell this is not going to be a short series. Like, this is going to be a long play, and you basically have a new start for Exo Manowar, Eric. He's living in Harlem. He's by himself, and he's trying to just help as many people as he can, but it's kind of like the more he tries to help, the more he's messing things up. But I really like it. I think it's written really well. I like how he's still this guy from the past, man. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have a job, but he knows how to hunt. He knows how to eat. He likes to sleep outside under the stars. I'm really digging Exo Manowar, and I'm excited to continue to read it. All right, so we got some early stuff from Image. We have some early stuff from Marvel as well. We had Conan 13, which they're saying it's a good jumping on point. So, you know, it was. I read it. You didn't need to know anything that went on in the first 12 issues. And it was kind of this cool, like, feats of strength thing with Conan proving himself in this Coliseum to this group of people that he ran up on. But he won, and he probably shouldn't have won, man, because now he's part of, like, this whole ritual thing. But it was a pretty cool issue. Like, I am kind of interested to see what happens next, even though I'm not a huge Conan fan. But I was digging it. Okay, the last early issue we got was from Marvel as well, and I don't usually do this, but Wolverine 1 was my pick of the week. Man, this was an awesome issue. First of all, Marvel also sent the Scotty Young variant, and then they also sent this die-cut variant. I guess I should show you what I mean with die-cut. So it's got, like, the Wolverine slash through it. This reminds me of Wolverine 50. I think it was that cover back in the day where it had like that top secret folder. Like, everybody had it in their collection, and they thought because it had a die cut cover it was going to be worth a lot of money. Anyway, so 2 variants that are available today for Wolverine 1. So Wolverine 1 is very much a part of Dawn of X, and that's what I was surprised to see. It feels like all those other Dawn of X titles. It has the same big white text pages and things like that. This is an oversized issue, an $8 issue, and it has 2 stories. The first story, we get an arc where basically people are intercepting Krakoa shipments from the Hellfire Club to the humans, and they're synthesizing these flowers into drugs. They're calling it pollen. So you have this storyline going on there. On the second story, you have an old Wolverine villain that's come back. It's kind of a vampire story. The villain's not a vampire, but a fan favorite. Everyone's gonna flip when they see who this villain is when he comes back. And man, I love the ending. This was an awesome issue, man. I'm so excited for a new Wolverine ongoing. I love how it's tying in with everything else with Krakoa and Dawn of X. Excellent issue. All right, we're going to flip over back to Valiant. So we got Bloodshot Zero. This was a great issue for people that are interested in Bloodshot because of the movie coming out. It kind of gives you a little origin wrap up. It kind of tells you what Bloodshot has been through since the new reboot, which we have read, like the first deluxe edition wave, and it talks about the early days with Harbinger and the Harbinger Wars. it gives you an idea of his nanites and the toll that it takes on him, like mentally, and him feeling pain and things like that. It was a great issue. Who's this? Tim Seeley? Yeah, Tim Seeley. I thought it was a great issue. It's a great jumping on point, too, if you want to get into Bloodshot. We got another #1 from Valiant. This is Dr. Tomorrow. Honestly, I don't really know what's going on in this issue, but basically you have this kid. His name's Bartholomew, and he's walking with this girl. They're both sports players. They're playing baseball, and basically Dr. Tomorrow from the future comes back and kind of says, "Come with me if you want to live," or you know, we need you to save the future, Back to the Future kind of thing. So don't really know what their power sets are. I don't really know what's going on, but apparently young Bart is got to team up with old Bart or older Bart to save the universe. All right, last of the independents. I got a book from Aftershock. This is God Killers #1. I felt like it was a little too serious for me. This is kind of like a war comic, an army comic. It's about this guy who's an atheist, and the kind of saying here in the title of the issue is there's no such thing as an atheist in a trench or something like that. I don't know, I butchered that. But it does get a little supernatural towards the end here, but it didn't really hook me. I'm not really too excited about reading more God Killers, so I don't know. I thought it was kind of boring. All right, let's jump into DC Black Label. This is the final issue 3 of 3 from Jeff Lemire's Joker Smile. Incredible. This almost got my pick of the week. This is an awesome book. It's kind of like Harleen in the sense of that it takes place in Arkham. Joker is in Arkham, and he has a therapist that's coming, or a psychologist that's coming to see him, named Benjamin. And basically, Benjamin unknowingly starts getting manipulated by Joker and makes him go insane. This is the end of that run. It was awesome. It's the same creative team from Gideon Falls. So you have Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. Amazing. They're the best team up in comics right now. Gideon Falls, but with Joker and, yeah, Joker. That's it. So, boom. Awesome. You guys need to read this. All right, still on Black Label, but we're going to Hill House Comics, The Plunge #1, a new Joe Hill book. And this is an interesting premise. I mean, this guy's full of ideas, first of all. But basically, you see you have a ship on the front. It's kind of like a tidal wave comes in. It's unearthing all of this, like, mysterious sea stuff. Like, it's kind of bringing up ships that have sunken and that have been missing for 40 years. And it's kind of like a lot of weird aquatic stuff going on. Even, like, species of fish are doing weird stuff. So something's in the water, I guess, with this book. Another one from Hill House, DC Black Label. We have Lolo Woods, issue 3. Man, what the... I don't know what's going on with this book. This is the weirdest book out of any of these Hill House comics. And they just took a whole other turn with it from where it was going. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain what's happening here. You remember we had our 2 girls that were in the movie theater. And it seems like they both kind of blacked out and woke up and something happened. Well, I mean, that's still kind of a thing. But it's like there's these things with these sinkholes. And now they go see a witch. It's like... I don't know, they're all over the place here, man. And then they go to this one girl's house, and, like, she's got a corpse in the house. It's just a really weird, out there book, man. But it's still pretty interesting. All right, Metal Men issue 5. I'm sick of Metal Men. I was always kind of championing this book, but, like, man, 12 issues of this? I'm already kind of over it, and it's issue 5. This should have been a 4-issue miniseries at best. I mean, it was cool to see the 9th Metal Man, but, I'm just over this book, man. Same with this He-Man Masters of the Multiverse. This is issue 4 out of 6, so at least it's not going to go on too long. The cool thing about this issue is that it was very heavy with the He-Man animated series, the original one, the ones that we grew up with. So you had He-Man, you had Skeletor, you had Teela and all that. Not Teela, the princess. I forget what her name is. So in that sense, it was cool to see that kind of stylized, cartoonish artwork, but I think the storyline is just kind of, we get it already. All right, we got DCeased, Killables, issue 1 out of 3. This was fun, man. All this DC stuff is pretty fun. I mean, it's a zombie book in the DC universe, and it's basically this whole anti-life equation. Even if you see it on a phone screen, it turns you into a zombie. So it's pretty cool. The main character is Deathstroke. He's got a healing factor, so that kind of helps him out in this world. Awesome stuff with the Bat family. You basically have Jason Todd, Sandra Kane from Birds of Prey, Batgirl. Very cool stuff, man. Very cool stuff. This is a good issue. You guys should check it out. All right, bouncing back over to Marvel, we have the Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider issue 3. I like this issue a lot because it had a lot of flashbacks to Cosmic Ghost Rider as Frank Castle, as the deal with Mephisto to become the Spirits of Vengeance, then even him with Galactus and the stuff with Thanos. So I like it because it had a lot of callbacks. Otherwise, the main story in this one is not too strong. He's traveling around with this girl. He's fighting all types of weird, zany monsters. So in that aspect, it's not really that good. But I liked all the callbacks. All right, New Mutants issue 7 by Jonathan Hickman. I think this is the last issue of New Mutants, is it? Either that or there's a big break between the next issue. This was a weird issue. First of all, you have Hickman breaking the fourth wall in the beginning, talking about the irony between this book not having kind of two teams and going back and forth and different creative teams on the same book. You've got Sunspot breaking the fourth wall, Hickman playing a little choose your own adventure in the middle of this, and besides that, you have New Mutants with the Shi'ar in space. I don't know, I'm not really digging this title. The artwork is good. I like the interaction between Cannonball and Sunspot, but it's just a little too zany for me. Marauders 8. Wow, this was a crazy issue. Iceman, he gets a lot of shit, man. Ever since all different X-Men or whatever, people have been ragging on Iceman. Iceman was a badass in this. He was crazy. Think Kitty Pryde from issue 1. My man was ruthless and brutal in this issue. And we get some pretty serious death in this one. And I'm not so sure that they can bring this person back. So it was a great issue, man. Storm showing so much emotion because of the death of this person, and her interaction with Emma Frost was really good. This was a great issue. I think it was probably the best Marauders issue so far. Man, it almost got pick of the week too. That Wolverine one though. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy issue 2. Al Ewing, the writer from Immortal Hulk on Guardians. This was okay. You have the Guardians fighting gods, right? And you have Nova's on our side, Moondragon, Phala, I always forget her name. Anyway, it was a kind of a forgettable issue. Basically, they're fighting the gods, this kind of deranged version of Zeus and all these other gods, and I don't know, it's pretty forgettable. I do like how Rocket's written, man. He's very sharp, he's on point. Another kind of big death in this issue too, but I don't really think this one's going to stick. All right, Daredevil 18, my man Chip Zdarsky continuing to kill it with this run. This run, we break a lot of headway too, because now the whole cops aren't allowed in Hell's Kitchen. Well, finally the cops are going to stand up for themselves, man. So it's an awesome issue, action-packed. What else happens here? Another big death, but this time it's not as big as you would think. But for this story, it's pretty big, man, and pretty brutal as well. Man, the Owl, he's always on some brutal shit, right? He's never playing games. This was an awesome issue. Daredevil was awesome, working with what is his name? Agent Cole or the Officer Cole. I think that's his name. Finally working together to get stuff done, man. So great issue. And wow, see, that's why I like to save my picks of the week for the last issue, because now we're ending this on a dud, man. So Machine Man 1 or Machine Man 2021 was a huge letdown. It was a super boring book. I did not care what was going on at all. And it really makes me not want to follow this whole Iron Man 2020 mini event that's happening. I do want to read the rescue issue. I do want to see what this Iron Age is all about. But basically, this is the other side of that coin. Iron Man 2020 basically wants to have AI work for humans, and machines should work for humans and not have free will. Machine Man wants them to have free will. And it just follows up after issue 2, but it was a huge letdown. I read a ton of comics today, man, and digital comics as well. Well, some of them I read over the weekend. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about today's new comics. Drop me a comment down below. Make sure to hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We continue to drop daily content. We're doing multiple giveaways, and we're continuing to grow, man. So we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch the video. You guys stay minty fresh. Peace.
They're saying I'm harmless, call me Cassidy, I'm bringing the carnage. Story the farthest, I'm a psychopath with a joker's lab bipolar. So there's two of me and only one of you, so do the math. I leave you stunned without the flash. No Wally West, no Barry Allen, reverse flash. They can't stand it, comic flow, they can't stand it. I'm incredible, unforgettable, something like Mint Collectibles, ayy. I'm a Gemini and we get it right. We amazing, no spider bites, so we doing reviews and getting the views. Venom my ooze, book of the week, come see me Wednesday and see what I choose. If it's about comments, then I got the news. Subscribe to the channel and you never lose, ayy. I show what I got and what's in the box. On top of my comments whenever they drop. Tell you what's coming and tell you what's hot. We keep it professional. We Mint Collectibles.
hot boy.